Multnomah County Commissioner Sharon Meieran is now in her second term on the commission. The emergency room physician represents District 1, which includes part of inner southeast Portland and everything west of the Willamette River. Dr. Meieran ran for Multnomah County chair in the last election, finishing second to Jessica Vega Peterson, who was also a county commissioner. Multnomah County, of course, playing a major role in trying to solve the area's homeless crisis. Dr. Meieran, welcome back to Eye on Northwest Politics.
It's great to be here.
Well, Multnomah County runs the Joint Office of Homeless Services, but the city of Portland recently considered pulling out of the joint office. They ultimately decided to renew for another year. What's the disconnect between the city and the county when it comes to the Joint Office of Homeless Services?
It's a great question. A lot of people would reasonably expect the Joint Office of Homeless Services to truly be a joint Office of Homeless Services. In reality, the Joint Office of Homeless Services is a county department. The county chair oversees it, and the city just gives a bunch of money without any authority to the joint office. So these decisions being made are not prioritizing a lot of the city's priorities, and that's been since its inception. So there's a contract that governs the joint office. Don't know why the city signed on to it in the first place, but that contract is up for renewal. It's been it's been pushed back a couple of times, but the city is rightfully angry because they're paying the money but don't have the authority.
And this is no small amount of money, $43 million the last time around.
Yep.
So what can be done in terms of fixing that dynamic? With the Joint Office of Homeless Services, why can't someone from the county and someone from the city sit down and say, what's a more coordinated effort here?
That's exactly what we should be doing. I mean, I wrote an op-ed a couple of months ago that highlighted the fact that there is no actual plan to address homelessness between Multnomah County and the city. And the joint office, if it was truly joint and coordinated, would be the entity that would come up with its plan. But because there's this disconnect, it's like all these leaders are governing by press release. So come up with one random thing, another thing, but it doesn't fit into a whole. By coordinating, we can come up with an agreement of shared accountability, shared responsibility, and a shared plan for ending homelessness. And there's not been the interest or appetite of leadership, I would say, to address that, at least till now.
Well, one of the things that the city is doing is they're establishing these safe rest villages, these homeless camps, sanctioned homeless camps. Mm-hmm. Now, is there any support that the county can give them for what the city is doing?
So until the agreement is sort of revamped, we should be just connecting with the county and agree, like we can still coordinate. We don't need an agreement to coordinate. It would be nice to have one that is a framework for coordination. We should be having those conversations. I personally believe we should be supporting the city. There should be mutual support for a plan. But I don't want to we get caught up in these individual approaches. So it's safe rest villages, urban camping, camping ban, housing Multnomah now. And these are all just sort of talking points that are not coordinated. Right now, it is up to the county chair, who's in charge of homelessness, and the mayor and the Portland Housing Bureau director to come together and reach consensus on a plan. I've put out some ideas. I've said we need one. I'm available to help on that. But to date, we do not have a plan.
The mayor and the city council are looking at this camping ban. They haven't voted on it yet. They're having the hearings, and we heard a little bit about that in the intro to this segment. What do you think of a daytime camping ban?
Well, I think, again, we are just piecemeal trying to do things. These are sort of talking points to get elected, and not full-on policy supporting a holistic plan. So that's a problem. When we don't think holistically, you do a camping ban, where are people going to go during the day? What are they going to suffer? What is the approach behind the camping ban? What are we doing to help people so they don't have to camp? We don't have any of those elements. We're not even admitting behavioral health, substance use disorder, and mental health are a huge part of the problem. Till we put the pieces together, a camping ban alone is not going to solve the issues.
Because people need a place to go. If they're barred from being on the street, then there has to be an alternative.
Exactly. I don't know where people think people are going to go, but it's not going to be our jails. It's not going to be, I honestly don't know. That's why we need to be getting together and thinking about the approach in general.
We've learned that Multnomah County is sitting on about $46 million from the Metro Supportive Services tax that voters passed in 2020. Why is this the case? Why isn't that money being used when the homeless crisis is so acute?
It is shameful and unconscionable. And it is my understanding that there has been identification of where those particular funds are going. Money has not gotten out the door. And again, that is the chair's responsibility. She is in charge of the joint office. She is in charge of a plan at the county for homelessness and campaigned, in fact, on coming in with a plan for that money, knowing there was going to be all this extra, and yet it's still sitting there. I heard and I was horrified. I learned on the news pretty much the same as anyone else that this was happening. And there's no excuse.
You know, when we go downtown, we still see this problem persisting on the streets, and a problem that we've had for years now.
Yep.
I mean, this has been a long time in coming. Can you feel the frustration of Portlanders who know that there's money there, there's the city, there's the county, but still we see the problem persist? Can you feel that frustration?
I feel that frustration so deeply. And in fact, I have been discussing this, calling this out at our public board meetings for years, sitting next to my 4 colleagues on the board, and not being able to get the attention. I had to resort to writing an op-ed to the public saying, hey, look, what are we doing? Still no attention. We are still not even counting the people who are living outside and identifying the scope of the problem and the need, let alone addressing that need. I mean, there is so much we should be doing. The chair is in charge. It is the chair's responsibility to come up with a plan and address it. And it's not an excuse to say, we have a new joint office of homeless services director, and I've directed him to come up with a plan. You know, you don't blame your subordinates. Campaigned on coming in with a plan, implement it. I think we could take 6 months, deploy teams to go out, understand exactly how many people are living outside and what they need, and then use our resources effectively to invest in what people need.
Yeah, the latest count is that there are at least 4,000 people
either.
Living on the street. Yeah,
that's
and
what you and I see. Yep, it's what you and I see when we drive by. What we don't count is the number of people we don't see. Right. That's where we need to go.
Dr. Sharon Meieran, thank you very much for joining us on Eye on Northwest Politics. Hopefully we'll have some better news the next time we talk to you.
I'm sorry I know I don't mean to be a downer, but it is what it is. We need to do more. Come to the county and testify.